So, Ian, you said after the game was postponed that you'd be calling the National League to get clarity about this game coming up, the Kings Lynn game. Has that phone call taken place, and what's been the outcome of that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't personally done it, but our club has been in contact with the National League, and obviously we want to get as early a heads up on the game tomorrow as possible, just to avoid a same scenario that we've had twice now. Kings Lynn have been receptive to that. They've been communicating over where they think the pitch is at the moment, and all being well, we have a pitch inspection early tomorrow morning to give us a good idea of the realistic chance of the game being on.
Who will be conducting that pitch inspection? Is that a local official that's acting on behalf of the National League?
Yeah, it'll be the match referee. So we've been in contact to get the match referee in early to take a good look at that. So that's for me, that's the best possible scenario at the minute.
Okay. So, I guess there's always still, even with those inspections and assurances, there always is the worry that you will travel and then conditions are worse. I know the forecast doesn't look too bad at the moment, but how much is that at the back of your mind as well, after seeing the pitch in the state it was in at Kings Lynn at the weekend?
I mean, we're conscious that can happen, and we knew that could happen in Dover. I guess that our frustration in both these scenarios, especially at the weekend against Dover, is not that the game is off, because that can happen. Like, can be crazy weather for 2 hours just prior to a game, and it's not. It wouldn't be the first time ever that that's happened. It's just to be able to communicate effectively with the supporters so that they have the best possible knowledge, so that the people that are paying money and travelling are not doing so necessarily at their expense. And for me, games can get called off. There can be weather situations, but we want to be able to give the supporters the best information possible, because we've had some very disappointed supporters both on Boxing Day and the weekend just gone.
The disappointment was obviously made clear in the statement the club released on Saturday evening, saying that the club hadn't heard anything from Dover or any of the officials. Has there been any conversations with Dover since that statement was released, or any apologies from their side?
Not that I'm aware of, but I haven't. I've been concentrating solely on the training. We've been working hard to prepare for the Kings Lynn game now, so not that I'm aware of. Like you say, the biggest frustration I think was that we tried to communicate early, and obviously communication wasn't great, and then the game was called off, and we wanted to be able to give supporters more info. But yeah, that was the biggest part, I guess, of our frustration. So we're being very front foot and proactive in terms of trying to get as much information as we can to provide that to the supporters, just to keep them well informed.
It's been frustrating for supporters. It must be frustrating for the players as well, on a psychological level as well. Getting ready for a game, for it to be called off that close to kick-off, and it's happened twice in the matter of a couple of weeks. How much do you feel that's impacted the psychology of the players, or has it been something that's been kind of put to one side?
We haven't really dwelled on it for too long. We were really frustrated at the weekend when we were on the bus and we had to turn the bus around and head back to Nottingham. But the players were training today. There was great competition. I can see they've missed a little bit of the competition because it was great intensity in the training session today. They're just hungry to play a game. We've been in good form, in all competitions, won the last 4 in a row. And we just want another game, to maintain that momentum. So we really, really hope that the game can go ahead tomorrow. But we're in the lap of the gods a little bit with the weather and the pitch. So we keep our fingers crossed.
So that pitch inspection's happening in the morning. So hopefully there will be a decision made there and then, or will it be something that's still, provisional?
Well, I think based on what's happened in the last 2, I think that hopefully common sense will prevail. If the pitch is looking in pretty bad condition and we can see it getting worse, then they'll be able to make an early call on that. Firstly, so for supporters, and then secondly for our own training schedule, so that we can then realign what we're doing. But there's nothing to say. It's quite possible for the referee to look in the morning and think that it's okay and want to leave it longer, and because. Yeah, and the weather can worsen through the day. We're aware of that. But I think we give ourselves the best possible opportunity to get the best information out by doing it this way.
Lots of the fans on social media were commenting when the game went, not just this one, but the Dover one, but the previous Kings Lynn one, were saying that there should be a sort of a sanction system in place for when situations like this happen so close to kick-off, when it could be avoided. Is that something that you would get behind, seeing clubs punished for this kind of thing?
I don't know, really. That's not for me to say. I just think purely on a football basis. It's obviously really the biggest thing for me is it's tough for the supporters. I have a job to do, and I'm paid for my job, and so are the players. And no matter what happens, we go all the way down on the bus to Kings Lynn or to Dover. It's still our job, and we have to get on with it. I feel more for the supporters. That's the biggest thing, is the amount of distance that they travel and the amount of their expense, and the game is about them. So that's the biggest frustration. I don't know about sanctions, punishments. It's very hard to say. Not every club is blessed with the with the things that we have. I understand that. For me, it's not. Games can be called off. We can't control the weather. We just can control communication, dialogue, professionalism. I think those things can be controlled, and that's what I think we have to look at.
We haven't spoken since Jaden Richardson's loan deal was extended to the end of the season. How delighted are you with that news?
Yeah, really happy. I mean, he clearly in the 3 games, and obviously, with so many games being called off, he could have had the opportunity to play so many more in that month that we initially had him. And then with all the cancellations, he's actually only managed to get the 3 games in. But I know he's done so well in those games, and he's really given us a new dimension. And I know that he's enjoying it, and he was keen to stay, despite, I think, plenty of interest. But I think he was very keen, and he was very clear that he wanted to be here as well. So we were happy for that, and we were happy that we had a good dialogue with Forest and are building a strong relationship with them to enable this to happen.
Were you always confident then that he would stay beyond the month? I know you were never going to tell me during the duration of the month. Was it always something that you were quite confident would happen?
Yeah, because I think he came in and he played well, and it was first team football, and I think he firstly enjoyed it. And I think when a player is enjoying what they're doing, they tend to play well as well. And I think because of that, I felt like we can offer a lot to his development. I know it's not league football, which sometimes clubs look at, but I think Forest looked beyond that and saw that we can do a lot for him in terms of his own development, and hopefully he saw that as well, and we can contribute towards it.
I guess it's the sign of the times that Anthony Patterson was recalled for just a week, given the COVID situation. When did that come about? Was that something that was done pretty much at the last minute to send him up there? And is he going to be coming back on schedule as far as you know?
Yeah, couldn't have been more last minute. We were on the training pitch on Friday preparing for the game on Saturday, and I got a call, or one of the staff got a call on their phones and ran across to me and said he's been recalled by Sunderland. So that, I think we're in the times where we have to expect the unexpected and just deal with it. And look, we brought another goalkeeper in to give us depth, and Sam's performed well. So, Sam was ready, and there's no problem there. Pato had to pack his bags and quickly get himself to the M1 and meet up with the team. And actually, I watched the game and I thought he did excellent in the game. Made some really good saves, and he'll play again tomorrow night for them, and then all on course to be back on Wednesday.
It was a case he was on the training pitch, and all of a sudden he was told, "You got to get off the training pitch and straight back up."
Well, we let him finish the session. I think Sunderland would have wanted us to let him train and finish the session. To prepare him, but literally he was off the training pitch, lunch, and then he was quickly back on the road and meeting up with the Sunderland team. He didn't even have his Sunderland tracksuit with him. I think somebody had to bring it down for him. So, a bit of an unusual. I never had that before, where I've been in the middle of a training session day before a game and a player gets recalled. But we're rolling with a lot of things here and adapting. So we did that.